Hey, can I order warehouse sale items over the phone?
Depends on the item. Sorry about that delay. Some of the items we have in the warehouse sale are there because we don't want to put them on the website. It might be because it's a small lot, because we don't want to sample it. In some cases, it's like the seconds we talked about earlier. It has a defect, and we want you to see it in person. Okay. Usually because it's worth more if you see it in person than it is if you don't. When you don't get to see something, you got some gray area, you automatically assume the worst, and you won't pay much for it. So we'll get some of these defects that are just off shade, and it'll be a real high-end wood. We want you to come in and see it, because when you see it, you're going to realize how awesome it is. Yeah?
But you can order some things.
Some of them you can. Yeah, if you just call the 800 number,
yeah.
And I take that back. Don't call the 800 number. Call the store that's having that sale, because you may have questions that are applicable to just that product, and that salesman or that manager in that store can go out there and get a board of it and answer that question as well as it can be answered. Certainly better than we could here, at the call center. You know what? That one's done.
That's all done.
Oh, okay, Jason. How important is a moisture meter for hardwood installation?
Probably the most
when we lean back, we're thinking, okay?
Probably the most important tool you could have. It's as important as your nailer to nail the hardwood flooring
Hey,
down.
and I'm going to interrupt just for a second to tell you how important it is. When we laid floors together, the only tool that went into the house with us when we first got there was the moisture meter. There was no toolboxes unloaded. There was no hardwood unloaded. Nothing happened until you carried that moisture meter in there. Because if you got a wet reading, nothing's going to happen. I'm sorry, I'll shut up now. You go ahead.
And if I was even hiring an installer, I would want to make sure they had a moisture meter.
Absolutely.
First thing we make our guys do when they go to the house, they go in there, they'll put the meter down. Because if you put that meter down and you're reading 20% moisture in your house, and that wood's 10%, we know what's going to happen.
Right.
You're going to have a bucked floor that you're going to be calling us about, or whoever about, within 30 days.
This floor's not any good. It's all cupped up,
So, the moisture meter is the most important tool you could have for flooring. And there are good moisture meters and bad moisture meters.
Any of them's better than nothing.
Anything is better than nothing, but we recommend one if it's a pin meter to the longer pins, because we want to read the middle of that subfloor.
Right.
If you're just reading that very top edge layer, most of the time that's dry anyway.
Right.
Because it's got so much air circulation, but we want to read the middle of the subfloor.
And even the meters that we have, the pin meters, there can be standing water, and we can go through that water and get an accurate reading of the center of that board.
Yeah.
Almost any professional hardwood installer is going to have one. The reason for that is, if he doesn't have one, he's going to have to buy a job occasionally, because if he puts, Jason used the numbers, if that
subfloor, he won't return your calls.
Or he won't return your calls, right. If your subfloor is 20% and your hardwood flooring is 10%, you come in and nail it down, it's going to go to 20%. It's going to gain that water, even though you got tar paper down. It's going to gain water. It's going to expand. It's going to cup, and it's going to have to be replaced.
Yeah.
And we've had a few of those calls. We got blamed for it. This wood's no good. It swelled up. Well, yeah, it's going to do that. The other option that the installer has, he can bring the wood in and acclimate it. Well, acclimate means average it out. So you've got a 20% subfloor, 10% hardwood. Let it sit for about 3 days. Now you got 20% hardwood. Nail that 20% hardwood down. Turn your air conditioner on. Water gets sucked out. You're going to crack between every board in the house. Yeah. It's not the manufacturer's fault. That's why we don't acclimate without a moisture meter. Yeah. Okay.